Hey everyone, today's project we are putting together a new bicycle for my daughter. Got it off of Amazon. The Kulana bicycle. Looks like that. There's your part and model numbers. I'll link to it in the notes below. So first up, I'm going to unpack it. I got the makeshift workbench, a couple sawhorses, plywood, got my beer. So I'm going to open it up, see what parts we have, and we'll go over it. Now my box is open. I still got to unpack the parts, but I just kind of wanted to show you what all comes in it. Always make sure you're careful opening the box. If you cut it with a knife, just don't go deep because you don't want to cut the tires or the seat or anything. It's got like the handle part here and all the other parts and pieces. They're protected pretty well with all this foam and a lot of the zip ties. And that's the one thing I wanted to show you. With the zip ties, the best tool in the arsenal, little pair of snips where you can just kind of come in, gently grab it, and pop it. So when you unpack this thing, you'll need a garbage can nearby. I'm just using a cardboard box there. So I'm gonna get all those pieces taken apart and laid out, and we'll get going on the assembly. All right, bags on, all unpacked. All the parts and pieces are laid out. Get the front wheel, the main body, and then the parts and pieces. Doesn't look that hard to put together. The handles, the seat, and the pedals. I am going through the manual. It's another man's opinion, but I also don't want to have to deassemble just to put stuff back together. And I've had to do that before. So we're gonna go through step by step, put this thing together. Tool wise, it said a couple different size Allen wrenches, so I just grabbed the set. Open-ended wrenches and some closed wrenches, sockets, socket thing, screwdrivers, my nice Harbor Freight. Also love this one. It's a little ratchet one. I don't even remember where I got it. I've had it forever. But it's nice and easy. A couple pairs of pliers, and so we're gonna move on to step one here in a second and start getting this thing put together. So step one is to put the handlebars inside the thing. So there's a little plastic piece that was on top. Take that off, and then if your angled piece here is way up, take the 6mm wrench and just loosen that so that it falls down and it's in line with the rest of the thing. Now the handlebars are also pointed down, so we'll want to loosen this nut right in here for that little bolt, and then these will go up like this. So if you're in front of the bike, it angles toward you and the handlebars go up. Now I'm gonna have to do all of these adjustments once I give it to the kid and they can see where it's comfortable. So I'm just gonna put it kind of in a spot, not go crazy on tightening it at this point. Then we're gonna put this in here. They recommend spraying everything with some lithium grease. So I got some liquid wrench, white lithium grease. Let's give it a little spray. And we'll slide that in. Now there are some tick marks on here. You wanna make sure that it is below that tick mark. And once you get below there, like I said, final adjustments once she's on the bike. Let's tighten this down. Now to make sure you're straight with your fork. There's a sticker on the fork that says rear, so make sure that is facing the right way as well. And we'll tighten that. And that is step one. The next piece to put on is this piece they're calling the fender brace. It goes on under here. These connect to these screws down here. And then this bolt goes up through here. So we're gonna take this bolt off. For the fender brace, I took off the screw here, screw on this side, and the one on top. It's all 10mm. And so this comes up here. So this is the first thing we do. You put the bolt through the front side. Thread that through. Try to get it all lined up here. Maybe. There we go. Slide this one on. I'm just gonna hand tighten the nut, which has a looks like a built-in little washer to keep it from backing out, keep it tight. So right now I'm just gonna do that part. That way I can come back down here and adjust these to get this lined up and start screwing it in. We're gonna hand tighten these at first until we get both on, and then we can tighten everything down. If you try to do it tighten up and then move the stuff, you're never going to get it. You're going to end up bending stuff, cussing, getting mad. So those are all hand tightened. So I can grab my ratchet here and we'll tighten all those down and move on to the next one. All right, now we got our front brace thingy on. Next part is to attach the tires, and don't let your bike fall. All right, so those are all tightened up. I didn't go nuts on it, not as hard as I can, just nice and tight, and then just a smidge more. So with the wheel, take off the little protectors. For these, there's no specific direction that it has to go. It's a pretty basic tire. So we're gonna take these nuts off first. These are 15 millimeter. That side off, and we'll take this side off. And we're just gonna lean this up and slide this in. Now it goes so that these little nuts are on the inside, and then your protector and stuff go on the outside. I'm going to zoom in here closer so that we can see a little more of how this goes together. He said there's the nut on this side. This fork sits on the screw. So this here is a little like protective washer. You see a little fork on there? So the fork goes on the inside and goes in that hole. That way, if the nut comes loose, it'll keep it from falling off, hopefully. So then we're going to take this nut. We're just going to hand tighten it on there for now, and then we'll do that other side as well, and then we'll tighten it down. So with this, we're going to tighten these down. Now if you have a quick release, there's some special ones that you don't really screw down. It's kind of, you'll see it on the seat over there, is a little lever that tightens it. On those, you got to make sure you're centered on your fork. With these, it's not as prudent because you have this gap part in here. So we're just going to go and tighten these down. Like I said, nothing nuts, just get it so it's tight, and then maybe just a little extra. I'm sure there's a specific foot-pounds put on there. I don't know what it is, and I'm not going to worry about that. I never have. I haven't had any fall off on me yet. So we're going to put that on. And then one more. And we're good to go. Tires on. Everything looks straight. This thing looks like it's a little off. I'm not sure if there's a really good way to fix that or not. I'll have to look, and maybe I'll loosen this here and see if I can slide it over a little bit or something when I'm all done. All right, next up we got the seat. So for the seat, it's kind of similar to the front. You have a minimum insertion bars, these little tick marks if you can see them. They go in here, but this one gets a quick release clamp, so we'll show you how to adjust that. I am going to give it a spray with the white lithium grease so that slides in and out fairly easy. Again, try to avoid making a mess. Spray on some cardboard. So with that, slide that in. Now clearly we'll tighten this and that seat will come up. So that slides right down in there. So to tighten this one up, there's a nut on this side and there's a quick release on this side. So why it's called a quick release is right now it's loose. Pull this in and it tightens. Now it's not near enough at this point. So we pull that down. I'm gonna look for my minimum, which is right there. I'm gonna tighten the nut on this side here. Now I want the lever on this side, so when I pull it, it's, I guess, I don't know, probably doesn't really matter, but that's the quick release. That's why it's a quick release. You can just pop it and it's open. So we're gonna tighten that one up a little more. And now it's stuck on there. Now when the kid gets on there, you might need to tighten it a little more. You just kind of have to wait and see. If it starts sinking, tighten that up, pull that shut again. Then I'm gonna grab a wrench and I'm gonna fix that seat so it's tilted up. Not sure what size it is. Grab them all here. It looks like it's maybe a 14. Yeah, so it's gonna loosen that a little bit. So it's up. And again, this will all get adjusted once she gets on the bike and we know, hey, what's comfortable, and we'll kind of go over the order that you want to adjust it once we got it all done. Now this is spinning a little bit, which means to me this isn't tight enough yet. So we're gonna give it one more turn around. there. Now that's not turning. Of course, I'm gonna have to loosen it and do it because I didn't put it straight. There, now we're aligned and good to go there. All right, last but not least, we have the pedals. The pedals, obviously there's two of them. They are labeled left and right. It's because the threads are different. So on the right, right to right, put it on there, start giving it a spin. And if it doesn't go in, then you know you're turning it the wrong way. So these here will hand tighten as far as we can. Now that this is spinning, obviously we can't tighten that. Do the same thing on this side. Tighten these in. And then we'll tighten it up with the socket. I'm guessing this is 15 millimeter. So it's gonna tighten. Grab my 15 millimeter open-ended wrench. If you turn the stuff the right way, it'll fit in there. You just give it, it's hand tightened, and then you'll give it like one extra tighten on there. You want the pedals to move, but you don't want the screw to move. So if your pedals move and your screw doesn't move, you're good to go. Just check it periodically to make sure that as the kid's using it, it doesn't start coming off. Take sticker off. I'm going to tighten up the other side, and then we'll kind of do the last couple things. All right, so we have a completely assembled bike. There's nothing more we can do now. We'll have to adjust it once I give it to my daughter. It's for Christmas, so obviously I can't do it yet. But some of the processes we'll go through is we'll put these straight and have her sit on the seat so that it's comfortable, and we'll adjust the seat up and down, tilt it up and down, make that comfortable first, and then once that's comfortable, then we'll work on the handlebars to make sure that those are comfortable. Not much to it, it's just a couple adjustments and she'll be good to ride. Should last the summer. Granted, it is an Amazon bike, it's fairly cheap, it's not going to last the rest of her life. But at this age, I'm not buying a Trek or a Giant or a really, really good bike that they're going to do Ghost Man down hills and probably crash into trees, who knows. But hopefully it'll provide, good summer fun, maybe 2 summers of fun. And we'll go from there. I'm going to properly inflate the tires. I haven't done that yet. For that, just grab a bicycle pump. And there is 40 PSI on these. So we'll adjust it for that. And so it'll be good to go Christmas morning with a blanket over it or whatever. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please post those in the comments below and hit subscribe and like the video. Thanks. All right, Epilogue. I forgot the basket. So we did get this retrofit basket off of Amazon that I will put a link to in the comments. So this pretty nifty. Just that goes. I did have to move that over. Goes on there. That goes like that. Wrap that around, feed it back through, and Velcro's on. I don't figure something out with that because I don't really want it just flipping out like that. I might even put a black ratchet strap or something around it. So with that on, the basket itself comes on, goes into these lower forks here through these holes. So we'll do that. And then it rotates up, and you lift your handles. They go inside those little things there. And when you put the handles down, it's locked in place, so it's not going anywhere. So nifty little basket to add on that daughter will love riding around with. So pretty easy. Any questions, comments, again, post them in the comments below. And thank you for watching.